Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a short video for you about 3D TVs and 4K TVs. The gameplay that you're going to get to see is me using the suppressed Red Dot SC2010. This is one of the first couple of games of Ghost that I've played after coming back from Europe. I joined a game in progress. It just kind of tossed me into the middle of the chaos, and I'm adapting, I'm learning, I'm making do, and I end up playing excellently, going 19-0 before finally succumbing to getting shot in the back. So you're going to get to see me go on a tear right off the bat. But in general, I would recommend against purchasing any kind of 4K or 3D TV. I don't find these to be very useful or practical products at the moment, and I would like to specify that I am saying a 4K or 3D TV and not computer monitors. If you're dealing with 4K computer monitors or 3K computer monitors, then that is a completely different story and has different purposes and functions, and I would tell you to go on and have fun. But the problem with 4K and 3D TVs is just that there's not enough formats or enough proper input for you to actually get the benefit. I'll start with 4K and I'll pick on that. 4K is any sort of TV whose horizontal resolution is approximately 4,000 pixels. That can go from anywhere from about 3,500 to about 4,200. It's not a super set standard yet, but the problem with this is that even Blu-rays usually top out at 1080p. You have to get a special kind of Blu-ray that'll actually play in 4K. You actually need to get a certain kind of Blu-ray player that is certified or will definitely output 4K signal, because a lot of them were made for 1080p HDTVs and they just don't output 4K. Nobody thought that would be a thing. And after you've done that, then you can enjoy your 4K signal and it'll look beautiful, lovely, and awesome. I don't think there are any 4K TV channels that I'm aware of. There might be in the super premium high end of satellite, but nothing's coming to mind off bat. Pretty much all the HDTV channels are going to be 720p or 1080i with a very few 1080p. Even Netflix and some other things are really only doing 1080p. So if you buy your 4K TV, it'll be beautiful for what handful of 4K formats you can actually scrounge up, and there doesn't seem to be a big rush to 4K. There's still a lot of people that purchase normal DVDs still that aren't even HD. Blu-rays are picking up, HDTVs are picking up, but UHD, Extreme HD, and 4K is really, really slow right now. So if you buy one of these TVs, you're going to be an early adopter and you're going to kind of lose out on some money and some time, and I don't think you're going to enjoy it very much. There are technical reasons against it as well, but I'm going to get to those in a little bit, and there's a similar problem with 3D TVs. Most 3D TVs on the market require you to wear some kind of glasses, or maybe even expensive proprietary glasses, which are worse than regular glasses, and you have to have 3D media to play. As of right now, there are more and more movies going 3D, so that's a benefit. There used to be almost none. Now you're getting some actual 3D media, as long as you don't mind wearing the glasses and buying the 3D HDTV, the 3D Blu-ray version. Unfortunately, the vast majority of movies that are 3D are sort of, I would call them post-editing 3D. They film the movie in 2D, they edit the movie, and then in the editing process, it's all done digitally. They kind of crop it up into layers. It's the foreground and the background, and I guess the midground, whatever it is that you're supposed to be focusing on. And it's not true 3D. It's like a simulated 3D. You can see this in a lot of different movies. It's not going to be as good as Avatar or as the Pixar movies. A lot of the Pixar movies are built on a computer, so rendering them into a 3D format is very, very easy. But these are sort of, I think Alice in Wonderland was kind of notorious for that. It was a sort of simulated 3D that didn't really look quite right when you were watching it. So like 95, maybe even 97% of your 3D media is going to be simulated 3D, which isn't even very high quality, so you're limited only to a couple of films, and you're going to have to spend a lot of money on this 3D TV in order to enjoy these handful of films in their true 3D-ness, and I never particularly found watching a movie to be worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. And same thing with the 4K 3D and the 3D TV, these have a tendency to have higher input delays. The technology is not as matured, it's not as developed, it's definitely not as gaming centric. That's the TVs and not the computer monitors. Big difference there. They do have a tendency to have input delay and be very bad for gaming. Now, the PlayStation 4 and maybe the 3 if I'm not mistaken, they do have some interesting sort of 3D features, but I never found that to be worth risking having a TV with bad input delay, but different strokes for different folks. The other thing is, of course, it's going to be very expensive, and I would like to mention that computer monitors are different here because it's very easy to scale up a game's resolution to 4K or even beyond if you're absolutely crazy like that on a computer game. Computer games, you can change the resolution cap. A lot of them ship with super high resolutions, input custom resolutions. As long as your computer is beast enough to handle it, it'll scale up to just about whatever resolution you want, and it'll look beautiful. Same kind of thing with 3D. Playing a computer game in 3D, running some sort of simulation in 3D, anything like that works so much better on the built-in, I guess it would be AMD or NVIDIA, just whatever your graphics card's 3D engine is. It'll do amazing things, mostly for gaming, not as much for media, but I know that there's some sort of simulations and some interesting programs and apps and stuff that'll do 3D. It's no Oculus, but computer monitors aren't a problem, and also just the nature of the design of the computer monitor, there'll be a lot less input delay. I seriously doubt that a 4K one is going to have less input delay than, you know, the tried and true 1080p, but it won't be a problem, whereas a standard HDTv probably will. So the next time you go to a store, the next time you're shopping for TVs and you see this like $5,000 beast 4K 3D HD TV blah blah blah, remember, it's just not all that it's cracked up to be, and that if you get it, you're really only going to be able to enjoy a very specific few things in that true 4K or 3D quality. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.